User Salivating Steve, shout out to you. You said Game Pass is not like Netflix. It's more like Amazon Prime Video, which allows subscription, streaming, renting, and purchase. Chris 808, you said agree. Elitech 772, you said nah. Netflix equals service and Game Pass equals service. Even if xCloud is present, the Game Pass remains a service similar to Netflix. Now, here's the crazy thing that I see in terms of this connotation of Game Pass is that for some strange reason, I don't know if it's purposeful or if it's as a result of people just not knowing, the distinct value proposition that Game Pass has is that it still allows for you who puts your content on Game Pass to be able to still sell your content if it's on the Xbox store. This is the PC Xbox store. We're going to do an example, and Elitech77, I want you to put your money where your mouth is. If you claim that Netflix and Game Pass basically remain similar, and if you're not talking about the distinctives or you refuse to agree with Salivating Steve's distinctives, I want you to take your Netflix account and buy this Resident Evil show and buy the digital license like you would on Amazon.com. Yes, on Amazon.com, we all know that you can buy and purchase digital content. You can rent them too, actually for a fee. So even still, Game Pass has a very strange connotation to it because all the games are available to you for one fair price. It's even better in proposition in some cases, right? And then everything else is for sale. Then there are other games that are not on Game Pass that still exist in the store that you can still buy from Xbox's respective stores. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an example. You see Resident Evil 2 Deluxe Edition? There's something weird going on here. The base edition of Resident Evil 2 is $31.99, but the digital deluxe edition is $12.49. I don't know if this is a for you deal, but I looked at this game a few weeks ago on the Steam summer sale, and it was actually cheap, but I'd already started playing on an Xbox PC app, and I was like, I'm not buying it from Steam because I'm not going to start all over again. I'm not dealing with that. So what we're going to do, Elitech, is I'm going to purchase this game for $12.49, and I would like for you to maybe purchase that Resident Evil title that is on Netflix, and then I'll show you my receipts. I'd love for you to show me yours. Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. It says, thanks for your purchase. It's yours. My notification, I didn't want to NDA myself because it pops up your payment information. I remember the first time I learned that the hard way. I was making a video. I was like, oh, that puts your payment information out there. So now the digital license to Resident Evil 2, the deluxe edition, is now that of yours truly. And I told you that my price point for majority of these games is around $10. So I feel like I overpaid by $2.99, a fee that I hope to recoup when you all watch this video to millions of views. Now, Elitech, back to you. The reason I went ahead and did this, and this just happened to just fall in my lap because I was actually targeting trying to purchase this game. I'm gathering the Resident Evil titles. People have been talking about them. I want to know what the hype is about. Played it back in the PlayStation, days. Just the first one for a little bit. Kind of scary. I was like, oh, that's freaking scary. Even these ones, as they still kind of give you jump scares, even if you're an adult. Doesn't matter, except you have nerves of steel, which I'm moving away from, from regular nerves to maybe wooden nerves. So here. As much as Netflix still provides me a service to be able to go ahead and try out these games, now I can no longer see the buy button like I did just a second ago because it has now been purchased. Your receipt for the purchase of that Resident Evil show on Netflix, if you can show me or link it on Twitter to us, I'd be very happy and I'll be obliged. In fact, I will reimburse you not only your purchasing fee, that means the money you spent buying it, I'll also be happy to reimburse you your 1 month Netflix subscription as well, if you can do that. If you cannot do that, then you by default concede that Netflix and Game Pass provide very different value propositions, even though they share similar pieces of their service. There's a big reason why this is very important. And the reason I went through all of this to do this in front of y'all is because almost every single analyst, talking head, whoever is out there, likes to draw the correlation, but does not highlight the distinctive, which is usually the crux of the issue, that Game Pass cannibalizes sales. Not admitting that Game Pass actually allows for the user, having used the content in some capacity, like in the case of Resident Evil 2, I've already started playing it. In fact, if you look and scroll down, let's go back to that. You see I have in my achievements roster, I have unlocked one achievement. I made it to the police station, right? It says achievement. It put the number here and then it puts how many, whatever the heck that is, right? It says, hey man, this guy has actually pretty much, achieved this thing. And so once that achievement is registered, like other games, which I'm also eyeing their digital licenses, by the way, for instance, Starfield, which is still way too expensive because I bought that $30 upgrade, the premium bundle. I have that premium thing. So I'm going to wait for this game to get super dirt cheap. Indiana Jones. Let's look at my achievements anyways here on Starfield, right? So if we scroll down, it says I played 23 hours. I don't know what the heck I was doing. I was just walking around, guys. I think I was just walking around. And then Indiana Jones, right? And the Great Circle, I've played. I think I kind of played this one yeah. Oh no, that wasn't me who played that. No, that was not me. Sorry, I was looking at how long to beat for Starfield. No, that was not me who played that. I know I played like some hours, but I was like, okay. So here in Indiana Jones, I'm stuck in this one area that I'm angry at the designers for. They're making me, Anyways, so I'm looking at Indiana Jones and saying, when you get to a price point that I'm happy with, just like Resident Evil 2 did, we can have that conversation. So again, the reason we're talking about this is because, I've seen, even analysts, even people in the industry talking like, this stuff, it's kind of crazy, that Game Pass doesn't do this. Chromewell came out again with the freaking, outer world price reduction. Because, game sales are a metric and, their developers in the industry don't like it. Chromewell, honestly, as much as I enjoy the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 got successful, I feel like you need to sit down because, again, you guys, your success was built on the backs of gamers' goodwill, where they gave you money for an incomplete game. It kind of grinds my gears, but early access is something that we, accept generally. But if you take early access money, you can't be complaining about Game Pass when developers take Game Pass money for a finished product. I mean, if we weigh the apples and we wanted to be fair, if I was in your position, I'd humbly sit down. Now, again, this is definitely something that we all need to basically put into perspective, right? And we need to go ahead and just say to ourselves, what are people talking about in this whole gaming conversation space? Right? What are we talking about? Because if we have to be honest with ourselves. We do have to be honest with ourselves. And when we ask ourselves the question, are we assessing gaming in the way that people make it seem like there's this cast, a shadow cast on this service as if to say that this service is somehow destroying the gaming industry, when how many games even exist on this service compared to how many games are being launched out there, compared to how many gamers are out there, compared to how many subscribers are actually using the service? Like the same people that say, Game Pass is not growing, are the same people that are still saying in the second breath that Game Pass is bad for the industry. My brain can't take the cake and eat it. You know what I mean? Thank you for watching the video. Talk to me in the comment section. Peace out.